to set up everything. There we go. Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be drawing the most beautiful bird, my favourite bird in Australia, which is the cassowary. So I'm just going to go back and find my reference photo. I've got it up in the top left of my screen, and I'm going to find it here and put it on my iPad next to me. Where's my thingy? Photos. There we go. There's my cassowary. So I'm going to start by drawing his head. I'm actually going to just draw in the shape of the crest first. I'm just going to do a rough sort of a sketch of the crest that's on the top of his head. That's made up of, it's like horsehoof almost. It's made up of hair, very fine, what do they call it? Keratin. But it's like a big armour plate on his head. They're very cool, very cool. Actually, I think this is a female one. So they are my favourite bird. They are very prehistoric looking. Now, I've done the crest first. So I do the crest, that gives me my perspective. And then his beak is actually the same length as his crest, but it goes back to about here where his eye is. It's under that first part of his crest there. I haven't done it anywhere near wide enough. I need to do it wider. There we go. Make it a little bit wider, like that. Then I draw his magnificent eye. Got beautiful eyes. Absolutely stunning looking bird. And his crest comes down like that. I'll adjust and readjust a little bit as I go. I got this reference off Unsplash, which is a great royalty-free reference site. Now, his beak comes under his eye like that. And then it's the length from there, it's the length of his crest. So I need to get that. Hang on, it's really hard to do. I'm going to use this because that way I can use it as a measuring tool. So from there to there is the length of his beak. So that's how I get perspective and dimensions. I usually use my fingers, but I couldn't bend my arm that way. But yeah, you can use a pencil, but you'll see a lot of artists, they'll put their thumb up and they'll go like this or that. Yeah, I use pencils. I use my pencil usually. I had my pencil in my hand, I could have used that. And that's how I get my proportions. So then his beak comes down under his eye. Now the depth of his beak is that. So I've taken a look at the reference photo and I've marked the depth of his beak on the pencil, so it's about there. So I've marked that in about the right spot because the bottom of his beak is thinner than the top. Okie doke. So now I come around here like that. His head goes back down onto his neck and his gullet down here, just in front of his eye about here. So just at this part of the crest of his crest, his throat. I use all parts of him as a landmark to figure out where things are. So I've noticed that his throat starts to come down just at this low point on his crest. Then it doesn't turn and go down towards that way until you get to the iris or the end of the pupil, and then his throat goes down and sort of curves back. Now his crest and that part of his neck are the same length. And then I'll just add the feathery bits at the bottom like that. And they are very solid birds. They are really strong. Very solidly built. Now, the beak, the nostril is low on the beak there. And then the ear, you can see the ear hole at the back here, like that. So they're shorter than an emu, but much more stocky, much more solid. And their legs are very much like a dinosaur. They are very dinosaur-like, I have to say. They are amazingly dinosaur-like. Got to get that all organised there. Now he's got the red colour there. So I'm just going to mark in where the different colours go. And I'm going to use my Sennelier and my Schminke watercolours today. So that's pretty much the shape. I'm happy with the shape. I'm going to add the texture that's in his crest up here, or his horn, whatever you want to call that thing. There is probably a specific name for it that I don't know. It's got beautiful colours on it, beautiful colours and texture. It's not going to be exactly like the photo, but get it as close as I sort of can. Now in his eye he's got quite a distinctive line around his eye. There's lots of texture on his beak. There's a little yellow bit at the bottom at that side there. Okay, I'm going to go in with my watercolours now. So I'm going to grab I'll use a mixture of Sennelier and Schminke. I keep hitting my camera above my head. Okay, so I'm going to start with the crest, and I'm going to start with yellow ochre. Very diluted yellow ochre. And I'm going to cover his crest on his head with that. And take it all over. So I work from light to dark. Hello, Trip. How are you, doll? How are you today? So I'm just going to carefully wash this in. I'm good. How are you? I'm very good. I've had a busy day, mown lawns, which is about an acre of lawns. Done some housework. Just did stuff around the farm. So now, and it's bloody hot now. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to draw and paint. So here I am. So how have you been, Dale? What's been happening in Tripsville? So I'm going to go in now with, I'm going to shut that one. I'm just going to use my Schminkies. Just going to use my Schminkies. And I'm getting used to this microphone. I hope it sounds okay. Yesterday it was all messed up and I figured out what I was doing wrong. I had it facing the wrong direction because, it's a new microphone that I don't know how to use. So I'm very much learning, and I Googled how to set it all up last night. So I hope I've got it right now. Hope that it sounds okay. But every time I turn away, I hope it doesn't disappear, because that's what it was doing yesterday. I was turning my head away and then no one could hear me. So I'm going to come down here and fill in with burnt umber, very diluted burnt umber, the front part of his head or his crest. And I'm going to work my way around. It's not exactly the same as the reference photo, but close enough's good enough. Go in for some more burnt umber, just less water, more pigment. Take that down the front while it's still damp. Like that. Oops, that's my Pippi dog. My Pippi dog being a grumpy butt. Pippi, just bear with me a second. I'm just going to take Pippi down the back part of the house. She does this when I stream. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to let Pippi out. Come on, Pippi, out you come. What was that? I just heard a thing. I missed it. What is it? Trip, thank you for the raid. Thank you. out to Trip. Hang on just a second. I'll do a shout out. Shout out. Trip 228 at Trip 228. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna put out Pippi Puppy, because she's been very grumpy. Come on, Pippi. Out you come. Come on, quick. Quick. No, Pippi, come on, you little cheeky bugger. Come on. Stay there. Sorry about that. Don't know what it is about the Pippi Puppy, but whenever I do a stream, she starts to grumble. She doesn't like the attention being anywhere else. So now I'm going to add some more burnt umber. While that's still damp, down this part of the crest, like that. Hello, Alex. How are you? Slip, slap, slap. Seek slide? Yeah, well, yeah, slip on a hat, slip on sunscreen. It's a hot day. I do that. I pretty much always put sunscreen on whenever I go outside. No idea what the dogs are barking at now, but anyway. So how are you, Alex? What's been happening? I come all around the back here. Drag that down to there like that. Okay, so now, lovely art as usual. Thank you so much. This bird is called a cassowary. They are they're like they're a bit smaller than an emu, a little bit smaller than an emu. But they're very dinosaur-like. They've got very dinosaur-like legs. They're the most, if you Google a cassowary, Cassowary, they are stunning birds. They can be territorial though. So if they go near you, that's fine, but you don't go near them. They live up the top part of Australia in the tropical area, and they are very dinosaur-like, extremely dinosaur-like. They're magnificent birds. Absolutely my favourite. Fine at the moment, but as you've seen, LA has been under pretty bad fires. Oh my goodness. Are you over LA? Oh, I cried. I watched it today on the news and I was crying because, yeah, here, like we get bushfires as well, and it's just the whole thing's horrifying. Oh, you poor thing. That's awful. Well, I send all my love and best wishes to you and your family, and I hope everyone that you know and your family stay safe. That is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. I hope they get it under control as soon as they can. My pleasure, Dale, my pleasure. Yeah, send all my love to everyone that's involved and everyone that's been affected. Right, so now it's going to come around here. So have you been evacuated or are you still home? The system is just overwhelmed. 7 fires and over 30 acres burned so far. 30K. Oh gosh, 30,000 acres. So much fire. Yeah, that's horrifying. So sad. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Payne's Grey. I just want to Add a little bit of Payne's grey to the very front of his crest and just down here. And then I'm going to draw the pupil on his eye using the Payne's grey for the second. I'll go over it again in a minute. He's got a beautiful golden eye, gorgeous golden eye. I don't usually use Payne's grey, but I felt like it today. I'll use a bit of indigo actually as well on the top, just to really strengthen it up. We're fine so far, thankfully. I'm always watching the fire updates to be ready to evacuate. Absolutely. Sounds like you guys have got a really good system for keeping updated. We have a fire app as well that's really effective. So, yeah, you guys, because I think when we have fires, they send guys over from California to us. So I think you guys come and support us when we have bushfires as well. So hopefully our guys have gone out to help you. I hope they've sent our guys out. I'm not sure if they have, but I hope they have flown them across to help you. The birds' colours are beautiful. They are incredibly gorgeous birds. And they're black. Their feathers on their bodies, they're flightless, obviously. But the feathers on their body are literally like velvet. They're like satin. They're amazing. They're so incredibly shiny and incredibly smooth. There's one at Melbourne Zoo and what was that? Twip, thank you for the sub. Cheers, biggies. Subscribe for 31 months. My golly gosh, gee whiz. Thank you, mate. That is very, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Another shout out for my mate Trip. Shout out at Trip 228. So everyone go and follow this wonderful streamer. Thank you so much, Dale. I hope my microphone sounds okay. I had so much trouble with it yesterday. So let me know if I'm dropping in or out. I'm hoping it's not. How's summer? Oh, my God, hot. We had, in American temperatures, we had about 106 or 107 a few days ago, which is 39 or 41 here. We got to 41 on one day, which is about 107-ish, I think. And today we've been solidly 30, which is, I don't know, hang on, I'm just going to Google. I'm just going to Google what 30 is. So hang on, what is it? Let's have a Google. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Celsius to Fahrenheit. How do I do that? Celsius, hang on, Celsius. I'm slow. To Fahrenheit. There we go. Oh. Whoops, daisy. I've got a phone call. Hang on just a second. I'm just going to take this phone call. Sorry about that, guys. Oh my goodness, that was my friend. I was just having a chat. So she's had a bit of a situation happen. So very sorry. Cheers, big ears, Trip. So back to the cassowary. So, okay, where's my photos? Got to go back to photos. So now they are cerulean blue. So I'm going to start with a wash of very pale cerulean blue. Very pale cerulean blue, very watered down. And I'm just going to take that. No problems. Yeah, she had a snake problem at home. She found a nest of brown snakes. So, yes, she had a bit of a problem. So she was telling me about that. Yay, Australia. Okay, now I'm going to come around the back here. Australia and your deadly animals. Yes, not pleasant. And everything's active at this time of year. Everything's very active at this time of year. So there's snakes everywhere. We've had more than usual. Snakes and spiders everywhere. But yeah, she said she had half a dozen, 2 big snakes and a heap of babies. That they live on, or they're on a farm as well. So yeah, they had a bit of a problem. She just popped in to tell me about that. But we'll catch up. So now I come down here and fill in. So that's all cerulean. And now you can see in the reference, it's darker around the eye. So I've just done it a very diluted wash first. And I'll add more pigment, more pigment, less water. And then while that's still damp, I'm going to take that around the back of the eye, anywhere I can see that it's darker or stronger tone or stronger colour. And I'll start to build it up in layers. Fill it all in like that, anywhere that I can see the darker colours. I think I hate spiders the most. Yeah, well, spiders can get everywhere. I actually got bitten by one. I don't know what kind it was, but I got bitten on the foot the other day. And we have something called a bull ant. I got bitten by a bull ant and a bloody spider the other day because they're everywhere. And I was, of course, being silly, walking around the garden in flip-flops, as you do. But I saw the bull ant, and if you Google bull ants, they're nasty little buggers, and it burnt. It burnt when it bit me. My foot was on fire for about 20 minutes. Huntsmans are common. Oh, God, yeah, we have them everywhere. They're very common, and they're absolutely harmless. Of all the spiders, I like the huntsman. I prefer I'd have 20 huntsmans in the house, but no red. You can keep your redbacks. Big spiders, I can imagine, would care. Yep. They do scare a lot of people. I've got funny stories about a huntsman, actually. There was a huntsman that lived in my 4-wheel drive, my big truck, and I knew it was there, but I couldn't ever find it. I'd see it, and it would sort of run away under the floor mats or under the chairs, and I could never ever find it. And I knew it was in the truck, but that was it. Anyway, this one day I'm driving to work, and it was at dark, at night time. So I'm driving to work, and I saw it run across the roof, and it was the size of my hand. So it was a decent sized spider, and they can get to the size of a dinner plate. They can get quite large. Anyway, this one was about the size of my hand, and it ran across the roof, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, no, because they don't hurt you. They're quite placid. Anyway, generally you can leave them alone, and they don't bother you at all. But anyway, of course, it was really hot weather this night, and I got to work, pulled up in the car park, and I felt it run across my leg, and I'm like, oh, God, it's down on the side of the car, and it's run across my leg. Anyway, it ran up my stomach and onto my face and ran across my face. I jumped out of the car. I pulled up. I jumped out of the car, screaming and bouncing around like a complete psycho, slapping myself in the head, trying to get this spider off my face. And I flicked it across the car park. Oh, my God. It was like, I look back now and it was really funny. All the patrons of the supermarket were just looking at me like, what on earth is she doing? Why is she bouncing around screaming? But I think the huntsman was screaming louder than I was. But yes, that I've never ever forgotten that. It happened a while ago, but oh my God. But we got heaps of them. Like we have huntsmans around the house. But yeah, they're the placid ones. We leave them alone. They don't bother us. They eat the smaller spiders, so we leave them alone. They're good for us. They do good things. I quite like them. As bizarre as that sounds. So I'm just going in with my cerulean around anywhere I can see that's a bit stronger. This is way too pale. I've got to strengthen this up over here. So I'm just going to add another layer of diluted cerulean just around the back here. And I can add the texture over the top. They're good pest control. Yes, they are very good pest control. They are very good pest control. And we've got lots of daddy longlegs's. We've got lots of, they're called mouse spiders, and they're just fat black spiders. I don't like them either. I think one of them might be what bit me on the foot, because we've got tons of those around at the moment. The mouse spiders. And they sound as gross as they look. They do sound as gross as they look. I don't mind spiders, just don't bite me or I'll step on you. Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. Problem is I don't even see them half the time. You don't even see them, and it's till it's too late. The bull ant, oh my God, I felt the sting, and I looked at my foot, and this little thing was just like latched on, and I had the garden hose in my hand, so I hosed it and got it off, but oh my God, it hurt. That burnt. Bull ants burn. And they'll chase you. A bull ant will chase you like a bull. They'll chase you for bloody 20 feet. You all got scary animals and scary amounts of UV in summer. Yeah, I think the hole in the ozone layer is right above Australia. So everything gets burnt to a crisp. We're crispy fried. Like I put sunscreen on and I'm really brown at the moment because I swim every day. We've got a pool. I'm very lucky. But I've been swimming every day. And but yeah, even with sunscreen, you still get burnt because it wears off after a while. I put it on all the time, but now I'm going in with not ultramarine. What's it called? I'm going in with indigo into the darkest areas under the neck, and I'm just starting to pick out little details. Bull ants have one of the most painful bites on earth. Oh, well, there you go. I didn't know that. It hurt. It burnt. It did burn a lot. I did bounce around on my foot for a while, wondering what that was. Well, yeah. And luckily I had the hose. I literally was watering the garden, so I literally just hosed my foot and tried to keep it cool. And that worked. So that was fine. So now I'm using indigo on the feathers. Now the feathers are really shiny blue-black, like they really are. So I'm going to go, I'll mix up my own black. And they're very stringy. If you look at a cassowary photograph, they are very stringy. They're feathers, but they're like, they're so shiny. They're incredibly shiny. Now under there's red. So I've got to come down here. And I'm doing this on my Stillman and Burns sketchbook. Love my Stillman and Burns sketchbook. Because I can keep it's archival quality, so museum quality, and you can keep it forever. Just like good quality watercolour paper, but it can live in the book. And I can cut it out if I want to stick it on a frame, or I can just leave it as it is. Just depends on what you want to do. So I'm not going to take his feathers down too far there. Now, his neck, I'm going to use, I've got this coral colour. It's a little bit muddy at the moment. It's got a bit of other paint in amongst it. So I'm just going to clean my palette a little bit. There we go. And then take that down onto the back of his neck. Around that indigo there. You see this paper's drying so fast. This is quite absorbent paper as well. He's got that red in there like that. I'm off to shower now. We'll sleep after. One of the fires is kind of close to us, so we'll continue to monitor. Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe. Pleasure talking to you. You're like a sweet auntie that everybody would love to have. Oh, that's a really sweet thing to say. Thank you. I'll be your auntie any day. You stay safe and make sure you do. If it says evacuate, get out fast. So absolutely take care, doll. I'll be thinking of you and hope everything's okay. You're in my prayers. Monkey Pit, thank you. Wow, thank you for the raid. Shout out Monkey Pit. Hang on, I've got to do a shout out. Shout out Monkey. Whoops. Monkey with an O. Oh, Monkey. How are you? I'm just doing it on my thingo. How are you? How was your stream? Whoops. Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am painting a cassowary. Welcome, everyone. Doing great. Was a great stream. Excellent. What were you working on? What were you doing? Are you a traditional artist or what were you up to? I like a bit of everything. So I've got my iPad thingy next to me, so I'm following me chat on there. I keep having to look the other direction. If you've got anything you want to share, if you've got a picture of your work, I'm happy for you to pop a link in Streamdale, and I'm happy to share it. Welcome, everyone. So hi, I'm Jen. I'm an Australian artist. I love doing watercolours, ink, acrylic, everything except oil pretty much, digital. I do a bit of everything, drawing, pen. Hey, Stitched, how you going, Dale? Giving the love to traditional artists? Awesome, awesome. Angst child, thank you. Yeah, I love everything. I love traditional, I love digital. Love it all. Love gaming. Not very good at it, but love it. So I'm doing this watercolour cassowary today. I was rated by Garg Draws. Awesome. Just wanted to spread the love. Thank you so much. It is very, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. But yeah, if you've got anything you want to share, I'm happy for you to pop a link in chat, Dale. Now I'm going to go around the eyes again. I'm going to mix up burnt umber and ultramarine blue. So burnt umber, ultramarine blue to make a dark, dark grey. So what are you working? Are you a watercolour or acrylic or ink, or what's your medium? What's your thing? So I've made up my own dark grey, and I'm going to go back around because I've lost the white in his eye and a bit of blue ran. So I've got to go back and tidy up around his eye a little bit using the very tip of my brush. How are you? How are you, Stitched? And I'm also going to use that same mixture, diluted, for the beak. And I'm going to do a very diluted wash onto the beak. Stay away from that where I've just done around that eye a little bit. I work in all mediums myself, digital and most traditional mediums. Awesome, me too. Love it, love it, love it. I've got an iPad and I love doing, I use Procreate. Love it. And I love a bit of everything. I love all art. Love watching. I've got a couple of friends who sculpt, do the computer sculpting as well, which is insanely good. I promised I'd try it one day for one of my friends, but I never got around to trying it. Love the eye. Thank you. Thank you. I've got to do the beautiful orange. It's got gorgeous, gorgeous orange in there that I've got to add, but I've got to let everything around it dry. So I'll keep working on, I'm going to use my indigo again. Indigo and burnt umber to make that stronger dark. And go back to my indigo. And then I'm going to start to add. Oh, awesome. So I've got to go on. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to drop out of camera for a second. I've got to get up on my other computer so I can share it on here. So I'm just over here. So go over here. Click on the link. I'm just bringing it up on my computer screen. It's making me log into Instagram. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, now it's sending me a security code. Just bear with me a second. It's going to wait for it to come through to my phone, which is up here. Come on, security code, come on through. Yeah. Because otherwise I can't share it on my screen. It's been difficult for me today. Hang on, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Instagram. Then. Oh, goodness. I don't know why, but I was logged out of everything today. Why? Send me a code, you silly thing. Hang on. Messages. Oh. Oh. Messages. Where is it? Hang on. Why did it not come through? There we go. Twitch. No, that's my Twitch code. Why is it not doing it? Hang on. Oh, WhatsApp. Sent by WhatsApp. Why would it send it via WhatsApp? That's odd. Never had it through WhatsApp. I don't even have WhatsApp anymore, I don't think. WhatsApp. Do I have WhatsApp? Oh, no. Well, that's painful. Saying it sent it to me via WhatsApp and I don't even have bloody WhatsApp. Okay, I'm going to need you. I will share it when I figure it out. I'm so sorry. You have a wonderful night too. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm going to search it. I'm going to find the silly technology today. Everything logged out and it won't let me log back in. Have a wonderful night, Dale. Thank you so much. I'm going to find your art and I will figure it out and I will get it loaded up onto the screen so I can share it with everyone. So I'm just going to go and find, just bear with me, peeps. I'm just getting my app up because I've got to go to the Apple store and reload it now because it's being painful for me. Goodness gracious, today is just a happening day. Where are we? WhatsApp. We need WhatsApp. Search. WhatsApp. 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 There we go. WhatsApp. I'm loading it again. We'll be fine. MG, what's that? Hang on, it's coming up. Oh, there we go. Open it. Is it going to tell me what it is now? Agreed. Goodness gracious. Well, oh, what was that? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. 0958. There we go. Hang on. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm just getting my WhatsApp so I can skip. Skip. Thank you for the follow, Angst. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I've been added to everything. Oh gosh. Oh, there we go. My code is. Okay, I'll be back. Fancy sending it to my. Fancy sending it to my WhatsApp. I didn't even have WhatsApp for ages. What an odd thing to do. So now it's loading. Yay! Okay, now I can share. Okay, I'll be 2 seconds. I've got to pop to that thingy. And save. Yep. Come on. Open up. Yay! Okay, so now I've got to go here. Hang on. Go up. Where'd he go? Where'd you go? Where'd his link go? There. Uh-oh. Hang on. Okay, I'm loading it up as we speak. Wow! Okay, awesome. So I'm going to share. So left screen, share left. Okay, so this is Monkey's art. Wow. That is amazing detail. That is incredible. Wow. Busy, very, very, I love the colours too. My goodness, that looks like watercolour. That is awesome. Very, very fantastic work. So I'm going to follow, like all that, and follow. There we go. I'm now following. brilliant, brilliant work. Very, very good work. Okie doke. And thank you so much. It was lovely, lovely work. So another shout out for Monkey Pit. Shout out, because that was all a bit chaotic at Monkey Pit. Monkey. Oh, no, it's not Monkey with an O. It was Monkey with an E, with a zero. Whoops. Monkey. There we go. Another shout out. There we go. Now, I'm going to go back with a stronger, more pigment, less water. And I'm going to, oops, got to get a bit more moisture on my brush. Take this down and around. Up onto the top of his beak, up to the crest. And anywhere that I can see that is darker. So that's indigo, sorry, and burnt umber I've used to make this darker colour. And I'm going to wet my brush and drag that around. And anywhere I can see that he needs stronger tones. I'm going to drag my brush, wet it, drag that around. And then come down and around here. Okay, and starting to build up the colours and the depth. So it makes it look more three-dimensional. The more values you add, the more darks and lights, it really does make it look very three-dimensional. So now I'm going to go even stronger underneath here. As you can see, he's got almost black under his chin. So how does my microphone sound, guys? Because it's a brand new one. And yesterday I had it facing the wrong way, which is why I was dropping in and out. Because I'm really not very good at technology, but I Googled how to set up my microphone. And yeah, because I had a headphone originally and it died of old age. It had a very hard life. I kept dropping them and putting them places. And so I got myself a freestanding mic. But, of course, I had it facing the wrong direction. So yesterday I was very broken up sounding. So I kept, every time I turned my head, my sound disappeared. So I'm hoping that it worked and it's better today. Sounds good? Awesome. Because every time I turned my head away yesterday, you couldn't hear me at all. It was like it was miming. You could see my lips moving, but you couldn't hear anything. So that was rather annoying. But you live and learn. My dogs are barking at something. I've been watering the birds because it's been so hot. I've been putting water and feed out for the birds. Native feed, of course, like I'm using the proper feed. But for the native birds. But, of course, they're everywhere now because they all know. And they're bringing their families and their friends into the water, and my dogs are just barking constantly at them. So I'm going to make burnt umber again, cobalt blue this time. Make it super duper dark. Bit more blue, bit more brown, bit more burnt umber. That's almost black. Almost black. Because burnt umber and blue or indigo, especially the schminke indigo, makes it almost black. Drank it all last night. Uh-oh. What'd you drink? So now I'm going to go super dark into his nostrils. And come up onto top of his beak. You see I'm building up layers by layer. Leave a little highlight around the edge of his beak. Like that. It's very dark around underneath the eye. So I always work light to dark. Start very light and work my way back. So I'm going to use this indigo-y, dark, almost black for the inside of that ear. Like that. And I can even, because I've lost a little bit of a highlight, I have lost the highlight in the middle of the beak there. I'm going to use acrylic pen. I don't mind doing that occasionally. If you need to, you can just add your, whatever you've got. I use acrylic paint or acrylic pen to re-add whites if I lose them. I've got to go a super strong dark. I'm going to add this indigo and burnt umber, almost the teeniest little bit of water just to strengthen up. See, that looks almost black. And I'm going to take that onto his feathers, and that just adds a bit more interest to his feathers. But yeah, I used to have photos of the one from the zoo. I've got to get back to the zoo because I used to go and sit at her enclosure and just draw her. I loved going to the zoo and drawing. And their cassowary was magnificent. She'd come and stand next to me while I drew. She got to know me in the end. Because I'd go at least every week. I haven't been for ages. But now I can start going again. So now I'm just about ready to go on to the orange in the eye. So I'm going to add the orange in the eye. And I'm going to use, what have I got? I'm going to use cadmium orange. I'm just going to try and clean it because I've got a little bit of other pigment in there. So I'm going to go in with a pure cadmium orange. Whoops. Like that. Leave the little highlight for the eye. A little bit of white, and the white's the white of the paper on the eye. And for the cadmium orange, now you can see the top of the eye actually is a little bit darker because it's shadowed. So I'm going to add a teeny tiny bit of red to that orange just to darken up the top of that eye. Like that. And let that sort of flow around. And that just makes that not look just like flat one colour. It really helps that to flow through. Now I've got to add all this texture around here. Because you can see he's got lots of very fine little feathery, like what would you call that? Like where the points of his feathers join in. So I'm just going to do lots and lots using the very tip of my brush. Using the very, very tip. Lots of little dots. You don't usually have to, usually with watercolour you suggest detail. You don't have to go into fine detail. I'm going to get a finer brush. I've got a finer brush over here. I'm just going to grab the one that's got the finest tip that I have. And I'm going to go back in with my cerulean blue, almost pure cerulean blue, and use the very finest tip. That's better. That's my finer brush. So it's a number 3. I have a smaller one, but this will do. This is fine. And I add all these fine dots in and around the back of his head. Like that. There we go. And I'm going to add ultramarine blue into the top of his ear spot. You can see his ear spot here. I'm going to add ultramarine into there because it's darker at the top there. He's got sort of like featherage around the outside there. And you can see that pattern turns almost more to a, I don't know what you call that. It's more of a like a turkey sort of mottle. I'm going to grab the slightly bigger brush again. I'm going to use the 2 brushes for this. And I'm going to add that cerulean. And I'm going to use the belly of the brush and just touch it like that to create that other texture coming down the neck. Just using the belly, the flat part of the brush. Because I love these round brushes. They're very versatile. So just adding that texture down the neck, like that. I'm going to take it up the neck a little bit. I've got to go stronger in here. You can see it's not quite, I haven't got quite dark enough. I haven't got a strong enough blue in here, in this bit here. So I'm going to go back in with a wash of cobalt. So I've used cerulean as the base, and now I'm going to go cobalt. Just got to get that nice and wet there and wash that over the top. Like that. And take it under his chin a little bit, top of his eye. And I'm going to get my brush, get the cerulean while I've still got the cerulean. Whoops, there. Pop that over here, like that. And I'm going to drag a little bit of that with the cobalt around that edge. Just back in, and then I can also add, because you can see he's got darker spots, darker feather marks. I forgot what they're called down here. So I'm going to add the ultramarine down here. What do they call the pins on pin feathers? They're like pin feathers. That's what they're called. The pins. So take that round. Like that. You can see he's actually got quite beautiful blue coming down into the red part down here as well. It's like a turkey wobbly bit. Birds coming to life. Thank you. It takes a little while, but you get there in the end. It does take a while. You've got to persevere. I'm just softening this with a damp brush, so it's not just perfect like lines. I didn't want it to just be lines. I wanted it to sort of create a shadowy sort of a effect like that. Okay. Quite happy with that. Now I'm having another look. I've got to put the yellow or the orange. Actually, he's got the orange on his beak. See it on the very tip at the bottom, just in there. The same orange that's on his eye, and he's got yellow under his chin. So I'm going to go into my, lemon yellow on my palette. Put that lemon yellow in here. It's got a bit of blue in it, so it's gone green. Oops, that's okay. Like that. I'm even going to take a little bit of that yellow and drop it in to his eye. Even though it's orange, it'll still lighten it up a little bit. Just got to touch that with my towel that I always have in my left hand. Okay, now I've got to go back onto the crest, his crest. Hello, Shane. How are you? Good morning. Now I'm going to go, you can see on that crest, the crest on his head, it's a little bit orangey. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow ochre and a bit of lemon yellow. I'm going to clean off my palette a little bit. So how are you this morning, Shane? I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 6:15 in the evening here. Family are gone out, so I'm streaming. I'm going to add this. I'm going to add a bit more lemon yellow to that. A bit more lemon yellow. I want it to be a bit more vibrant. And then I take that around these brighter spots on his crest. 7:15 a.m. Oh, well, there you go. Just finished work. Nice. Not really. I need it to be oranger, a bit more oranger. That's not a good word. I need it to be more orange. So I'm going to add a little bit of orange. And then we're going to go back and drop in some orange as well. And then some yellow. There we go. Because I've got the yellow ochre underneath as a base, it has darkened it up. There we go. I've got to brighten up that red. So I'm going to add some more red. A little bit more red. See, I've gone on to I've accidentally put a bit of blue where there shouldn't have been. I've put feathers where there shouldn't have been, but it doesn't matter. Can't stay for long on an earlier shift tonight. No worries, doll. It's awesome to have you here for any amount of time. Does not matter, doll. You've got to, if you've got to go, you've got to go. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I've got to soften up here. I've got too much of a hard line going. Because this paint, if you add water, it will re-wet. So I'm going to soften that line. So I literally just went back into the original paint with a wet brush and made a mess. So I'm going to go back in and redo that. But I had to make it a little bit less hard looking. So I'll go back into that and let that flow around while it's still damp. Like that. There we go. And I've lost the edge of the nose, the nostril. So I'm going to have to grab my white acrylic marker to get these whites back. So I'm going to do that right this second. I'm going to go over here to my acrylic markers, give it a wash, give it a shake, and I'm going to very carefully add highlight back into the eye, like that. Anywhere I can see, you know what I'm going to do? And this is another thing you can do with an acrylic marker. You can use it like paint. So I pop that onto my palette, and I'm going to get my fine brush, and I'm going to put that highlight back, whoops, onto the edge of the lip. The lip. I did that yesterday. I called it a lip. It's his beak. Put it back onto the edge of his beak. Like that. Needed a bit stronger than that, but it's getting there. Comes right along there. Bird lips, yeah. Bird lips. He's got lips. And I'm also going to add that onto, he has now anyway, onto his crest. Which is just for display. They don't use this for anything except display, the crest. Just adding a few little highlights back. And I'll add some onto his neck. Yeah, I don't have a problem with using a bit of acrylic with my watercolour just to regain some whites when I lose them. I'm going to grab my pen again. Got to add a bit more. I really wish I had a finer one, but I don't. Move that around with the tip of my brush. You just got to make sure you wash your brushes out thoroughly. Crests look like cool hats. They do. They certainly do. They're very strange looking. They are incredibly strange looking. And then, if you see them up close, they look like a dinosaur. They really do. When you're standing next to one, they look very dinosaur-like. Their legs are incredible. If you Google a cassowary leg, they literally look like dinosaur legs. They've got massive, like velociraptors, massive, massive talons, massive heavy feet, and really scaled. Their legs are very scaled. They're incredible. Like they're like that evolution, that step between a bird and a dinosaur. They are amazing animals. Absolutely amazing. Now, I've also got to add a little bit of white around the nostril where I lost it. Carefully. Just drop that little bit of paint on the paper or ink. Oh, not ink, acrylic. And I'm just going to drag that around the nostril shape like that. Just to add that little bit back. Deadly looking feet. They are amazing. They have killed people in the past, but like nearly 100 years ago was the last time they killed someone. But they will kick. Their defence is kick. Same as an emu, they'll kick before, like, more than do anything else. Now, in the middle of this, I'm going to go very carefully with, again, putting that line back under that highlight just to regain that, like that. There we go. And I've got to get a bit more three-dimensional in this ear hole. I don't want to make the top of it darker so it doesn't look just flat. You've got to add lots of colours to your shadows because you don't want just one shadow colour. You need it to pop out. The more layers, the more three-dimensional it will look, which is what I want. I like things to look 3D. Okay, come down and around there. I think we're just about done. We're just about there. Just having a quick look again. I can go back into my indigo. I'm going to take that up onto the crest a little bit there again. A little bit more up there. Back down onto here. I reckon that's looking pretty cool. Got to add a little bit of this indigo around his ear. Just looking at the picture again, just got a little tiny bit of it on the tip of my brush. Just taking it around anywhere that I see that so it's indigo, so it will go with everything. Just adding stronger textures down onto the bottom of his neck here, like that. And I'm pretty happy with that. I think I've got to add a bit more indigo coming into here. Just a little bit, just dots of dark. A few more dots of dark, like that. Come back around this edge. I could also refine if I wanted to. I could refine it with, what are they called? Micron pens. I could refine it with micron pens, but I'm going to leave it. But I'm quite happy with that. I think I'm going to call that. I'm going to sign that down here. Like that. And I am going to call that done, 2025. Ta-da. Okay, I am going to call that done. And let's find someone to raid. Thank you so much. It was lots and lots of fun. I love cassowaries. It was actually a request from yesterday, so I thought I'd give it a go. I haven't drawn one in so long, and he turned out pretty cute. So now I've got to think of what I'm going to do tomorrow. So any suggestions? I'll be back tomorrow. I have no idea what time because the family's going out again, so I will be home all on my own. So I will just do streaming, I think, one shape or another. I don't know what kind of animal I'm going to do. My pleasure, Trip. Thank you for the raid, and thank you, Monkey, for the raid. Thank you, everyone, for being here and hanging out. I'm going to see who's on. Who have we got on? Let's have a look. I'm going to go back to my Twitchy app and have a look and see who we've got. Oh, Galacticat. We love Galacticat. Let's go and hang out with Galacticat. We absolutely loved Galacticat. She's an amazing artist, a really lovely person. Lots of fun, great personality. Let's go and hang out with Galacticat. I've just got to get over here, / and share the love, / raid at Galacticat. Love her. I haven't caught up with her in ages, so it'll be really lovely. Galacticat. Galactic. Hang on. I always spell it wrong. Studios. Okay, I hope that works. Let's see. Is it going to pop up? Did it work? I don't know. Did it work? Oh, I don't know if that worked. Did that work? Hang on. I don't know if it worked. My thingy's gone crazy. Chat pause due to scroll. I don't know what that means. Okay. Whoops. Did it work? No, it didn't work. Okay, hang on. I'm going to try again. So / raid Galacticat. Galacticat. Dear Cat. Try again. Studios. The Galactic Cat Studios. Try again. Okie doke, now it's working. I will see you over there. Thank you so much, everyone.
We have the
Whoops, Daisy.
We can ask your email.
So thank you so much. I'll see you over there. Have a great day, night. I'll see you tomorrow for another stream.